I'm sure anyone's going to. We'll have Chief Sullivan come and give us a quick summary. As you know, this is part of the process of submitting two different budget requests. We have our operating budget request, and we have the capital budget request. And the capital budget request goes to the actual buildings and the maintenance of the actual physical buildings, and then we have our operation that does the day-to-day of educating our children. So that's the difference between the capital budget and the operating budget, and they're on two different timelines per Metro Charter and the council and the mayor's purview. All right, Chief Sullivan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Dr. Battle. Thank you, Chair Elrod. Chair Player, you just pretty much said everything I was going to say, but you did say some of it. So, and we also, I saw Jamal trying to put some of the documents up there, and they don't show up real well on the screen. So I was just going to go, and I hate doing this after the great presentations y'all just saw. I was just going to go super low tech with it and just, y'all got your documents in there, and so if y'all can take a look at those. And I appreciate everyone who's already done so and looked at things and asked questions, and hope that your answers are done there. But if you have others, then we can certainly walk through those now or later. But we are, as Chair Player said, we are here to present our annual and long range needs request. What you have in front of you, I'll just sort of walk you through what you've got. You have our prioritized list of needs, as well as supporting documentation and our long-range capital needs for your reference. You have one sheet that's called the MNPS School Enrollment and Utilization Form. So if you see that one, it is the one with all the schools and a lot of numbers on it. And that one gives you details related to the number of students at each school, the projections for students and for space at each one of those schools. So our capital needs prioritization is created by using that info, the review of our enrollment trends, our capacity, our facilities condition scores, and our needs related to fifth grade transition and to finding room for and expanding for our early childhood learning opportunities. Finding how this translates to the prioritization of needs, you will look at the MNPS Capital Improvement Budget Request sheet, which is the that big document.
It's that now.
That's the big
long one.
The big one. Actually, the big one. They're both titled the same thing. Sorry. So this really large one that has multiple pages. That one then gives you all of the worksheets that give you the full prioritization per year, with notations for each building's needs. So I'm kind of giving you the building blocks that then get you to that one pager that's up on the screen there. So the projects are listed within each year and then listed alphabetically. So you'll see at the top of the page, you'll see Alex Green Elementary. And then you'll go down a little bit and you'll see a number, later on down, you'll see, Apollo Middle. So you'll see all of a sudden starting over some, the alphabetization, because they are listed by year alphabetically. And then the last page of your packet is the one that is showing on your screen, and we, in our biz around the office, we call this the one pager, and so that gives you the capital budget request for our current year, and this has the construction needs for this prioritized for this current year, as well as other district-wide capital projects such as technology, maintenance, and renovation projects. This is our menu, so to speak. week that the city will then use to consider their funding recommendations for the next capital spending plan award. So after your action today, as Chair Player said, the capital needs of the district will then be given to the mayor's office for the mayor to consider and share within the inclusion of his Metro budget presentation to the City Council. We are asking for a vote on this prioritization plan tonight, as this does need to be approved in January for inclusion in that budget request. But if you compare last year's to this year, there are not a lot of differences. The main differences that you'll see in this year's is more emphasis on expansion of the early childhood. So there's some renovations that you'll see in there related to that. And then you'll, of course, also see increased costs if you compare this year to last year for the same projects, because the industry standards are increasing costs, unfortunately. So those are your big changes from last year to this year. So I want to thank the team that has worked on this so much. David Proffitt, our Executive Director of Facilities, Maintenance and Construction, Ken Stark, our Executive Officer for Operations, as well as Casey Migo and Ryan Latimer have just done an amazing job, as they always do. And they are here, as well as I, to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions?
So I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to be kicking and screaming to approve this budget because I want McGavick High School to go up on the list. We have a lot of needs out there, but we will wait our turn. But I want our constituents to know I keep having those conversations.
We hear you. We hear you. Both ears.
Like, get in line. Go ahead, Cliff. Ms. Mays.
Yeah, and I'm going to follow suit with Dr. Naba McKinney. I'm going to be kicking and screaming to approve this budget because I do see some really interesting things in here for the Antioch cluster, and I'm excited about that, so I'm on board.
Favoritism.
Mrs. Tyler.
Yes, I just want to take a minute to anybody who's watching and might be watching in the future to remind you that we're requesting this, but unfortunately it has never been given fully funded ever, to my knowledge. And so what tends to happen is the mayor and his office and the council will kind of pick and choose which one of these they want to fund more than others. So it may be that somebody who's in this top area does not get funded this year, and they remain in that top area for the next year, and they may not get funded that year, and so then they remain in the top area for the next year, and they keep staying there until it hopefully gets funded. So if you have something in this top area, like Westmead Elementary, then you need to make sure that you are advocating at the city council level to make sure that they are looking at your particular project, if that is something that you know is a desperate need for your community.
Thank you.
Dr. Gentry?
So without highlighting and drawing any attention to it, I would like to have at some point a discussion about, if you look at the utilization column, my district again is showing some extremely low numbers in some of our schools in a couple of the clusters. So I'd like for us to just proactively have a conversation. I know you walked into a bad situation when you took this job with regards to utilization in District 1, and it caused a major panic, few threats. We're all good though. But I'd like us to be a little bit more proactive in what our strategies are going to be for those schools that are trending, that are low now. And if the column to the right of that for 25, 26, or 26, 27 is accurate, it's not getting any better. So just at some point, I'd like to see that as a conversation.
I think that's duly noted, especially what progress happened with some of the tough decisions we had.
Yeah, and so I just want to extend that, and not to jump on the bandwagon of advocating, but just to understand that Alex Green sitting on this list, understand it's at the top in alphabetical order, but sitting at the top of the list absorbed a lot when we made those hard decisions. And so now they're sitting at 115% capacity. We cannot not address that. And then if you come down to Robert Lillard, who's one of the schools that we are repurposing and have some exciting plans for, it's still a building that's sitting in a community with older people with an empty building. And so we want, I know it's not completely empty now, but that's still looking and advocating and curious and interested about what we're going to do with that space, because they do see it as a reflection of their community. It's a reflection of their comfort as well, when we can say we're doing positive things and putting some activity, some consistent activity in that space. So big conversations, I know, and to Ms. Tyler's point, it's a crapshoot about what that number will turn out to be. But I think we need to think beyond, I think we need to remember commitments previously made, decisions that we made as a board that got us to where we are, and then understand the plan C, right? This is plan B. So we have to figure out what the plan C is for our resources.
Thank you. Dr. Battle, did you want to respond? Ms. Mays and then Ms. Block, did you want to respond?
I need to give some.
Ms. Mays and Ms. Block.
Yeah, so to echo what Ms. Tyler said, absolutely, if there is something on this list that is, and I will say this for the Southeast Nashville community, I need your advocacy at the Metro Council to all of my folks that are listening. This is public information, so if you're wondering what's on this list, look it up. Look it up. It's available to you. We are the fastest growing area in the county, and I see it every single time I walk into a school building or every single time I hear from a parent. If you are truly interested in getting the support that we need, then I need you and your voices to advocate for these improvements, these renovations and or replacements. So thank you, Ms. Tyler.
One of the things that a couple of unique shifts I just want to make sure I call attention to, given the budget that's in front of you. One, we're still a little ways out from completing our fifth grade transition, and so keep that in mind, because it gives us an opportunity to build out 6th, 7th, and 8th. And also, please keep in mind new builds, right? There's a few new buildings in some of our clusters that we have to be planning for, and so we don't want to get ahead of that and make decisions that impact the demand or need for those new school buildings as well. And you see a few represented in this year's budget, but there are also some in some of the upcoming budgets as well.
Yes.
Just a quick comment on the overall of sort of renovation and replacement. Ms. Tyler was talking about schools that have been on lists for a while. Percy Priest is one of those schools that for a long time was listed as a renovation and had issues that could have been potentially addressed over the course of many years, but without getting the amount of money we might need sort of in any given year, schools can move from a $10 million renovation to a $50 million replacement. And so, appreciate so much everything that the council and the mayor are trying to do to support our schools in every way that they can. But that is something that, as we think about what are the costs, that is a cost. So to the extent that we don't take care of the buildings year to year on a regular basis, we end up with schools like Percy Priest that are now in a replacement scenario rather than a renovation scenario.
Ms. Masters and Ms. Tyler.
Thank you. I just want to point out that only one charter school is above capacity, and it's projected to not be above capacity moving forward. So when we hear all this, oh, we need more space in our charter schools, we do not. Just pointing that out. If anybody wants to look at that chart, that was fun for me to see. Also, I got 2 elementary schools that are busting at the seams, and they've got like 80 something. Like, what do I got to do to get my schools moved up on this list? I'm gonna have to get parents up in here talking about this.
Like 97.
Too low. So 15.
Because I'll tell you, I'll be asking for for one of those new schools.
I'll say this. We completely understand the advocacy.
Chief Sullivan is not Santa Claus.
And schools, and we have these conversations given the data that's provided to us constantly, and so we understand the sense of urgency, the need for like the right, excellent conditions for our students to learn and our teachers to teach in and our principals to lead and our support staff members to serve in. So we will continue to advocate beside you and with you across the entire
Mills and
district.
Gateway parents, they can get loud. That's all I'm saying. And they're all staying there for 5th grade because it's awesome there. So, thank you, Dr.
Okay, you can tell they really like each other because it's become a sibling rivalry of who's turf, and the politician in us has kind of really come out.
I don't know if I prepared for this today.
Ms. Tyler.
At least I know where my focus is going to be moving forward.
Cut through.
Write it down.
If we got fully funded,
Brace
we wouldn't
yourself.
have to do this.
That's true.
Just want to point
That is true.
I did have a question. So right now on the kind of longer version, we've got each school has a list of how many portables are being used as classrooms. And I know several of those are going to change as we move 5th grade back to elementary school. Some are going to increase, some are going to go away altogether. Do we have the numbers of how that's going to change?
We don't yet, but we are fast and furiously in the middle of that project right now. So you'll, Dr. Battle will have that from us very soon.
Chair Elrod.
Thank you. So our new buildings and school additions, renovations and replacements are always a large part of our budget, and obviously highly sought after. But not to be ignored is the ongoing list of deferred maintenance that we have that's constant to be tackled. So within that, I noticed that for HVAC upgrades, that seems to be the largest request at $188 million. So I have a couple questions. My first one is has any of this been able to be controlled or done with our ESSER dollars?
Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you hear my answer, yes, it has. So in other words, the amount was a whole lot more than that.
That's what I assumed.
Yes.
Can you tell us what that amount was?
I don't know off the top of my head, and I don't know if my team does, but I'm going to look behind me and see if they do.
If you give us a minute, we might be able to circle back and answer that question.
Yes.
We will be.
We can get it for you for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then I guess within these HVAC upgrades, obviously with an amount like that, it's unlikely that we'll even receive close to that amount of money. And the money that we do receive is usually split up among the many needs of deferred maintenance. How do we decide which upgrades in this specific instance are prioritized? Do we go through a similar process like we do with the CIB for our students, for the new buildings?
We do. We look at where the greatest need is based upon our facilities condition, still using that, and that can help us prioritize everything from technology needs to the different deferred maintenance needs. We do.
So it too has like a facility index score.
It does.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Dr. Kinney.
Yeah, to add on top of Ms. Elrod's question, or a comment first, we were able to use ESSER funds around HVAC systems, and so I know that Two Rivers Middle School, who did not have an HVAC system, they still had wall units, were able to get an upgrade within their school, and so they have been really happy with that process. I do have a question related to what's the difference between design fees and renovation?
Maura, do you want to respond to that?
Sure. Design fees are the fees that we're paying to an architect or an engineer, depending on the project, or both, to help us visualize what the project will need to be, and then renovation are the actual construction costs.
Okay. Thank you.
And if we aren't able to pull that number before we end, we will make sure we answer that question because we do have those numbers. And I also want to keep in mind part of the prioritization around leveraging ESSER for some of the HVAC needs was timing as well. We have to make sure that those funds are covered and at least encumbered before a certain date, and so we had to be mindful of that as well.
And the number that thank you, Dr. Battle, for that. The number that we have pulled is that we have $24 million in ESSER for HVAC. So we're going to look and be sure that that's all the pots of ESSER because it feels like it was larger than that.
It was larger than that. It was larger than that.
So we'll be sure that we get.
Can I invite Chief Chen up to the podium to give a little more information around that?
Share my podium, Chief Chen.
Thank you. So this is from ESSER 2 and 3. I didn't have the numbers for ESSER 1 at hand right now. In ESSER 2, we had $10.5 million for HVACs, $4.5 million for bipolar ionization, $3.03 million for access control systems. And then in ESSER 3, we had $10.1 for the Old Center portables, which supports the 5th grade transition. An additional $9 million for HVAC, $2.9 million for the design for the 3 elementaries, and $2.1 million in food service equipments. So that's the total across ESSER 2 and 3.
Thank you.
My team is adding on to that. The reason that we did not add more dollars into ESSER for HVAC is, number one, there were lots of other needs within the district for these wonderful ESSER funds, but it's hard to get it spent in the amount of time because there are really, really strict guidelines on those large construction projects, and for us to be able to get those dollars spent, we had to be judicious with what we actually put into those HVAC upgrades, unfortunately. So.
I also want to commend us on using the ESSER dollars for some of those design fees that we've done as well, so that we may not have been able to use them in the HVAC timeline because of trying to get the materials or parts or what have you in enough time. We were still able to use it within our capital budget needs.
Absolutely, and design fees allow us to get right to the work when the capital spending plan is approved.
That's for the Overton School that is very badly needed. I'm sending my people down here too.
Any other comments?
I just have one last one on behalf of McGavick High School. We are the largest high school in the district, and I understand we have fast-growing districts across MNPS, but McGavick High School is the largest with the most students within our schools. Also, for advocacy, this is election season, and we want to make sure that we are advocating in the right places as we look at funds to support our schools across our system. Thank you.
Ms. Bugs.
I feel like that was an alley-oop because earlier today we were reminded by Mayor Cooper that with the new TISA legislation beginning next year, July 1, that our funding from the state will be cut almost in half,
yes.
Right? It goes from about $6,000 per student coming from the state to about $3,700. That doesn't sound like a big deal right now, but I want you to remember this, just like in 2018 we were talking about that third grade retention bill, and then again 2 years ago we were talking about the third grade retention bill, hoping that it wouldn't come to fruition, and here it is. So I want us to try our best when we start to think about advocacy and advocating in the right spaces. We hear you. Every person that comes up here, every staff member that you have come up here and speak to us, Dr. Battle, please know that we support you all. We are looking to give you all as much funding as possible. What I would ask of the community is to remember that the city really has stepped it up and they've given us much more funding. So we appreciate that partnership. Now it's time for us to advocate at higher levels. I don't know if it'll do anything, but we might as well try, so we tell the kids, right? So with that being said, this is a very real issue. Policies are being made that impact you a year or two later, and so sometimes you can get frustrated around funding and resourcing and policies that shift those kind of things, but be mindful of that now. Again, with TISA legislation going into effect July 1, that means that the per pupil allocation will shift from about $6,000 per student to about $3,700. Meaning that the city will either have to make up that difference on top of having to look at that ESSER cliff that we've already been planning for, but knowing that ESSER dollars will be running out, we need to be mindful about how this will impact all 80+ thousand students, including many of us who have either children of our own or at least children that we love in this district.
And Ms. Buck's point, well taken, and to add some context to that, specifically around the state portion is what he was referencing, that amount, and the change that we are anticipating with TISA. We will not know until late March, early April, exactly what the TISA estimates are, and so that's to be determined. But specifically, as was referenced earlier, it's the state's portion of what is allotted per pupil within MNPS that was being referenced. To say the least, we appreciate this board's and this community's continued advocacy around TISA, even with the specifics around the unique learning needs, how economically disadvantaged is captured, and we've seen some movement around these CDF being included as a part of the language as well. So let's continue to advocate. We'll continue to keep this board and the community updated once we have estimates of what that will truly look like per pupil, and what should be next for us as a city to rally.
Panic. I want y'all to panic so that we can advocate now, but I appreciate you being more thoughtful with the use of the language. So no, we're not going to have to fire half of our teachers or anything because the dollars are being stripped, but I think it is a real big issue. It is a big issue when you look at schools that have 1,000 or 2,000 students, and the state portions of funding shifts by about $2,000 per child. That could just have some rolling ramifications that I think we need to be mindful of on the front end when we can impact that now.
I think we also point out that the average across the state is $9,500 per student, and we are at $3,700, or what could be.
State portion.
State portion.
State.
Yeah.
Dr. Nabob-Kenny, if it's not
Yes,
McGavick.
it's not about McGavick, but that's my district. But I do have a question, Dr. Battle, if you could answer that. Currently, under our current BEP, before switching over to TISA, currently, what does the state fund us? What percentile does the state fund us versus what our Metropolitan Nashville?
In theory, or in reality, what happens?
Yes.
We see, and these are kind of rough estimates, what we typically see, and there's a fluctuation here of about 70% of that coming from the city and about 30% or less, because there's a little slither of a portion that you can attribute to federal from the state.
Thank you.
It's closer to about 26 right now that we're estimating from the state side, but again, I'm just rough numbers.
Yes, I think that, I'm sorry, thank you for saying that. I think that that's important for our community and those who are listening to understand. We often hear that the state funds us at 70%, but we're uniquely situated here in Metro Nashville Public Schools that we're somewhere between 26 and 30% state funding portion, which means that our city is having to pick up the bill where our state lacks the funding to support us. Thank you.
I don't like the funding.
So as we said, thank you, Chief Sullivan. As we go, we want to thank the administration for putting historic investments over the past several years into Metro schools, funding capital improvements when it has been stalled for several years. And going back to advocacy, particularly with our community allies, our parents, our business partners, this is a great way to do it. If you talk to our students, you ever tour a school, the students feel what it's like to have a new building or compared to their colleagues, understanding the impact it really has on our children on a day-to-day basis on their environment that they have. And we want to have the best environment and show that our children are valued by putting where our money is literally in tangible ways outside of what we do provide for education. And so as you talk to your council members, as you talk to the mayor, as you talk to your state reps and state senators, please let them know that when we do this, we're usually taking out loans. So Metro government is taking out loans on behalf of us, that when we take out those loans, that this is where it's going into, is investing in our children, and it's going into tangible investments. And if we say education is our most important priority, it goes more than to actual service of teaching, but it has to go to the very environment where our children feel safe. We know when our children feel safe, they thrive in a lot of places. So we need to take that to the next level. So for the business community, for the nonprofit community, for our parents, when you talk to other elected officials outside of us, this is a way you can advocate for us that there is funding and be more efficient with our tax dollars, as Ms. Block said about deferred maintenance. And deferred maintenance becomes deferred replacement. And replacement is a lot more than maintenance. I want to just make sure that we acknowledge that and make sure that our children are listening and watching and absorbing and knowing when we put investments in that. And also to Dr. Bowden and our team, also aligning the capital budget with their academic goals, particularly with the fifth grade realignment, that we see that being reflected also in the budget. So no further comment. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move to approve.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And let the Hunger Games begin for who gets the next new school.
Thank you very much.
I feel like there's a spirit of Tanya Harding at this table. I got her name.
I'm going to give us a 5-minute recess since we've had back-to-back committee meetings, so we'll start at 5. I'll say 5:06. Okay, I'll say 5:07. I hear the commotion. 5:07. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, so I said that wrong. Did I say?